podcasts over at wildgamesproductions.com and d20radio.com.
They came from the game table, dice bags in hand,
We have one brain that we share between us.
to talk about role-playing for all across the land.
And you'll like it.
The original, then basic, then one they scoured,
Kinda grabs you by the boo-boo, don't it?
to bring AD&D to the second power.
You want me to put the hammer down?
Welcome to THACO's Hammer, the best damn AD&D 2nd edition podcast ever.
And it's a crazy show as usual. Hi, folks. THACO's Hammer, Splatbuck 96.
Yes, sir.
We are strong like the bull.
Strong like bull.
Got those, cojones in this show. And I'm DM Glen, and we stuck to DM Brian.
Hey, folks, what's going on out there?
And over there in the corner, we have DM Corey.
Hi, everybody. How are you today?
And over there in the other corner, staring very wisely, is DM Full On Gamer.
Greetings, Gamer Nation. I am the great full-on gamer. I need dice bags for my rolling.
Yes.
Wow.
And tonight we are going to... Okay.
Somebody had to do it.
Yeah, thank you. You just reached through the internet and slapped me. But, well, to heck with this. Let's go on to Hits Crits.
Well,
one thought he was invincible, the other thought he could fly.
so
They were both wrong.
Son of a bitch is dug in like an Alabama tick.
You're hit. You're bleeding, man.
I ain't got time to bleed.
We're sending somebody in to negotiate.
anybody else want to negotiate?
Hits and crits.
Hits and Crits. Yes, sirree, Bob. What you been doing, Brian?
Oh, let's see. Well, we've been trying
Baby
for
time.
we've been trying to do session 14 of Hammers of the Duchy for like 3 weeks. And yeah, we finally got it done last week, and that will be going up soon. Let's see. Otherwise in gaming, well, we've been having some, shall we say, some issues with my son, so I haven't been able to do too much gaming. But hopefully, now that he's turned a corner and he's getting,
I say he's good. He's okay now, right?
Oh yeah, you guys saw him. I mean, aside from the fact he was bawling his head off because he was hungry, but
Stuff like colic and allergies
yeah,
and stuff like that.
that's what he's going through. So once he gets past that, then it'll be kind of smooth sailing for the next couple of months. The only thing that we're trying to do now is we're trying to get him to sleep through the night. You know how that goes, Glenn.
Oh yeah. Now when you say you're tired, I really, really believe you.
Yeah, and a new job on top of it, first shift. Yeah, I'm just yeah.
All right, new job.
Oh yeah. Yep.
More money, I hope.
Yeah, I get paid more money. The hours are less, but it still comes out to be more than the job I previously had. So
After 5 years, they get me a brush. Yeah, okay.
3 years, but yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, full on, what you been doing?
Well, I've been whiling away a lot of time on the Old Republic, taking advantage of the new expansion that's in place.
Yes.
Strongholds.
Uh-oh.
There are now open venues for shopping your heart's content on Hammersmith Cyberdynamics, production values on Coruscant, Dromenkos, Tatooine, and Nar Shaddaa. For those who know what I'm talking about, wonderful. For those who don't, bite me.
And
I know what you're talking about.
It all points west, yes. So you've been just going crazy on them servers, huh?
Hey, still on one server. Haven't had to branch into 2 yet. I just keep buying more slots.
Oh, man. Okay. How about you, Corey? What's up?
What's going on? I've been drinking.
No
Thinking
kidding.
about drinking.
If I ain't drinking, I'm thinking about drinking, yeah.
You're drinking?
I am drinking right now. Captain Morgan. It's pretty good. Anyway, I've been drawing, trying to get some of this artwork finished up and try to get some of this stuff off my table. haven't been playing much D&D. We kind of been taking a break because it's like everybody's birthdays are in the same 2 months, and we only play every 2 weeks.
Oh,
So
wow.
like,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, in 2 weeks we play D&D again on Sunday. Oh, wait a minute, that's my birthday. We're not gonna be here. Dang, man. All right, we're gonna play 2 weeks after that. Oh no, wait, that's my girlfriend's birthday. She's the DM. So yeah, and my girlfriend's birthday is next week. So we're cutting out D&D next week, and we're going to the Ren Fair instead. So I'm taking the whole D&D.
Hey, you're gamers, right? Game
Right.
on your birthday.
Well, we're gonna go to the Ren Fair instead. So we're literally gonna drink mead and eat giant turkey legs and walk around medieval times.
Walk around on your giant turkey legs, and
Yes.
Which reminds me, the Oklahoma State Fair is coming up, which we're not going to, but just thought I'd mention that. Maybe they'll give me stuff if I
Well,
put
the
them.
Michigan
I
Red Fair.
doubt it.
Michigan
all the corn dogs I can eat.
Here's a waffle cone.
Yeah, elephant ears. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, I actually thought about going to the Michigan Ren Fair for like 5 seconds, and I'm like, oh god, there's no way I can do it.
I die. The state fair. I die for those frozen cheesecake dipped chocolate on a stick.
Wow.
Oh god, those are good.
Yeah, the chocolate dip cheesecake is delicious, and so is the chocolate covered bacon. I kind of just lay on their counter over there, and I'm like, another piece of bacon, please.
I cannot bring myself to eat chocolate covered bacon. I'm sorry. I'm not much.
There's a line you will not cross.
That is right. No peanut butter and banana sandwiches, no chocolate covered bacon.
Oh, chocolate covered
Now
bacon.
watch, we're gonna get emails on this. What's wrong with peanut butter and bananas?
No, more like what's wrong with chocolate covered bacon? Come on, remember the crowd we're playing to.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think there's ladies out there listening. Let's see, what have I been doing?
What have you been doing?
I missed the last 5e game because I had auditions for shows.
Uh-huh.
And I'm still waiting to hear on that.
Uh-huh.
But I hear my character got killed. So it's like, I told Matt, look, it's a standing rule now. If I'm not there, you park my character in town, period. Because every time there's a TPK, I'm never there.
Well, that's
and it's
a good
like,
thing,
well,
right?
what's wrong with that? I said, well, if my character's going to die, I want to be there.
You want to be responsible for it.
Yeah. I don't want some Yahoo taking my character and getting him killed. But he says everybody, it was pretty much a suicide thing anyway. So all right, fine. It's 5e. What do you want,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, I went to Half Price Books. I wanted to plug these guys. And I was so surprised. Skirmisher Games. And I was so surprised to find a copy of Creatures of the Tropical Wastes for Mutant Future. A bunch of critters for Mutant Future done by, if I could open the book, Chris Van Dalen, also known as Outlander. I've heard
Outlander
of him before.
78, is that him? Yeah.
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah,
cool.
He's actually really good on the boards.
Yes. It's a great book. I want more. It's rare I find stuff like this in print, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Usually this is all PDFs, and it's like, damn, tell me where, because my game store won't carry stuff like this.
Right.
I guess if I special order it or something, but I can't get them at a brick and mortar store, and I do like the format. So come on, guys. I don't know, Lulu. Maybe you have to go to Lulu. I don't know.
Take out a second mortgage.
Whatever. Yeah, tell me about it. Mm-hmm. Let's see what else. Oh, we got another guy hooked. Hi, John. Hi, Spawn. Hi, Mr. Spawn of Barrel Rider Games. He started listening to THACO's Hammer, and next thing I know, he's damning me for making him want to buy the core books again. Thank you, Corey, for sending the DMG and the PH to him. And he's got a bunch of some other stuff and a monster manual, and hopefully he'll be turning out his new Splat book, The Complete Book of Half-Orcs.
Very cool.
Yeah, and maybe half-elves. I don't know. I'd like to see a book on half-ogres. Hint, hint.
Funny you should mention that.
Yeah. Isn't it? But that's pretty much what I've been doing, and I'm sure I'll intersperse something else once I think of it. But that's me. We got any emails?
Oh, yeah, we've got emails. We definitely have
good.
emails. And if I can pull up what I'm looking for, I can tell you what they are. All right.
Throw one up there.
Okay, let's see. I'll do this one here. Okay. This one is from... Oh, okay. Okay, this one's a little bit on the longish side, but it's okay. This one is from J.C. Smith.
Hi,
And
JC.
he says, "Hello, Hammerheads. Due to the arrival, oh God, geez, I haven't read any emails for a while. Due to the arrival of diaper filler number 2, yeah, I can relate. I've just have the arrival of diaper filler number 1. I've had to have a bit of a break from the OSRG family. That being
I do number 1 and number 2.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, that being said, my last stint of DMing was at the end of 2013, early 2014, and I based the mini campaign around the inheritance using the 2E Neoclone Myth and Magic. Except for my somewhat limited GMing capability, I would have to say the venture was a success. The group started with 3 players and ended with 10. That's a success. Usually, if
that is a success.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's that, full on?
I said yes,
Mm-hmm.
certainly.
Yeah, if you start with 3 and you more than triple it, yeah, you're doing good. The core of the group has since continued to meet weekly without me. Myth and Magic is akin to 2E with a variation of kits and many players' option features turned on, and a bit of 3E with only 3 saves, ascending armor class, and BTB. The characters are a bit more powerful than PH only 2E, but that meant I could be a bit nasty when necessary. Let's just say the carnivorous apes were rather brutal, especially when they were pumped up with rage. Yeah. Yeah, that's a joke going back to the Lost Holocron, but I'll leave it at that.
Now.
No. It was something you said. That kind of stuck with me. It was funny. On to the campaign. I played the first part mostly by the book, but I did expand the region with some of the later supplements, just as full on explained. The Green Dragon mentioned was fleshed out a bit by Ed himself in a 3E web enhancement. The NPC Hobgoblin was rather useful, actually, so much so that the players exploited him a bit and unthinkingly sent him to his doom, which they were thus penalized. Once clearing the keep, the PCs traveled to Waterdeep to finalize their claim, a half-orc barbarian from the north, in fact. On the way, they hired some dwarves from Red Larch to protect the keep, which didn't end well for the poor dwarves. See, I'm going to pause there for a second, because that's the one problem I kind of have with the inheritance. It's just too easy for the players to leave, and all of a sudden it's taken over by what else, or if they leave first level or 0 level troops to guard it, yeah, they can get overwhelmed fairly easily, but I digress. Based on the Hobgoblin...
You got to invest in the proper type of manning.
Yeah,
if you're going to go strongholding, you need to be able to man it right.
Yeah, that's why you're supposed to wait to your 9th level when you have tons of money you can spend on troops and support and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Based on the Hobgoblin reinforcement schedule, the PCs had just enough time to make a trip to Waterdeep and get back before more Hobs arrived. When they got back, they discovered that the keep was trashed with dead dwarves laying around. A drunken Etten was sleeping in the dining room. He was, yeah, that's pretty good. He was dispatched, but they couldn't get the drop on him. 2 heads, and he nearly caused a TPK. The wands and scrolls that the players got in the keep loot were very helpful in this case. Yeah, I would say so.
Oh, yeah.
When the reinforcements arrived, the PC had the diabolical strategy to hide in the tunnels and lightly poison the remaining booze so they could take on the 21-strong crew at an advantage. The Hobgoblin...
Lightly poison. I like that.
Yeah. Not enough to kill him, but yeah, definitely to tip it in their favor. The Hobgoblin NPC was their face man, but it ended up being the end for him once he was exposed once the ruse was up. Later on, the PCs decided to take on the whole Lost a Finger tribe. After a dip in Barrow Maze, amongst other small side treks, I used G1 Steading. He means Steading of the Hill Giant Chief, the classic module, as a base of the Hobgoblins, as I really couldn't find a suitable Hobgoblin base. A long session of fighting and whatnot had the PCs succeed in burning down the base and killing a good many Hobgoblins, but not all. This session was with 10 players and a bit tricky to DM. Yeah, anytime you get over 6 to 8 players, it tends to get a little tricky. There were still a ton of future adventure possibilities with the group, but I had to stop there with the Enfant Terrible's arrival. He actually went French there. That's funny. All in all, a
Nice.
great time was had by all except a whiskey match between two players. Sigh. Lest you not be too concerned much with the minutiae of the rules and the story. As long as the players are smiling and having fun, that's the key magic to a good game. I agree.
Oh yeah.
In other news, the 2E clone for Golden Glory has RC style unibook on Lulu. Pretty snazzy with a nice selection of monsters plus player and DM info. At the moment, it's only in PDF, but you can contact God Emperor Drothan, all one word, but for the link to the printed book. Cheers, Papercut.
Thank you, Papercut. Thank you for mentioning that because I was going to.
Mm-hmm.
I did get the PDF for Golden Glory by Justin Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I read through it. I like it.
Okay.
I'm glad he finished it. I'm glad he put it out on PDF.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's an admirable clone if you cannot get 2E because looks like it's one-stop shopping because it's got like monsters and spells and everything in there.
Right. So he did do it RC style.
Did it RC style, yes.
Awesome.
And I applaud him for that.
Cool.
So Justin, take your bows. It was worth the wait.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be looking into this very soon myself. So.
Oh, probably be by the end of the night. But who else? Thank you, who's that again? JT.
That was Papercut. Yeah.
Thanks, Papercut.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, go on.
Cool.
Next one.
Do you want me to do the voicemail?
Yeah, please.
All right, well, let's do a voicemail. You hear that, folks? We're doing voicemail. Here comes a voicemail. All right, on to the voicemail.
Are we doing voicemail?
I believe it's voicemail time.
Really?
Here we go. Yeah, we'll do the voicemail.
Does it live in a
How did
crypt?
the voicemail get here?
Through the voicemail. Through email through the voicemail. Here we go.
Hello, Hammerdins. This is DM Callaghan. Hey, I was thinking about this, and I was wondering if you could give me some advice. I'm looking for better and better ways to build early party interactions in Unity before you have all right, you're all in a tavern, all right, you're all hired to send someone on, and try and build better backstories with interconnecting, interlocking parts for the party members. One of the thoughts I had was starting them all at level 0 as villagers in the same town, a la beginning of Wheel of Time, Eye of the World style. I just wondered, what were some of your best tips and tricks? Some of your best ways that you had been able to get a party to immediately have some interconnection gel together? Thanks, and keep bringing the hammer down. Bye bye.
Thank you.
That was DM
Callaghan. Thank you,
DM
Callaghan.
Yep.
Cal.
Callaghan, take me away. What?
Yeah. Boy, they go into that a little bit, not too heavy, but some in 5e.
Mm-hmm.
Where you actually have to come up with bonds and stuff like that, which is okay, I'll play along, but I don't really care for that. My favorite way is just to get them in the middle of a bar fight.
That's one good way. I mean,
yeah, you meet in a bar. Well, everybody's fighting in the bar. Okay.
Yep. So somebody tried to pick a pocket, or somebody sucker punched someone else, or pinch the barmaid, or whatever.
Actually, and when I got bored with that, I did you guys are just random people walking down the street, and the bar fight spills out in the street.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're walking by the tavern, and you get hit with a tankard.
Yep.
Well, comes flying out the door.
As far as for me, if I know the party and they all make their characters and they all give me a small background for their characters and what they're looking to do, what I'll do is I'll write a couple paragraphs, and what I'll do is I'll do it from their perspective. So if there's 4 people in the party, I'll write 4 paragraphs out and explain to them how they're linked to each of the other party members. You grew up living next door to this guy. He's kind of a jerk. You kind of know what he's like, but he's a loyal friend, and he won't steer you wrong. Then I go to the next guy and go, you live next to this guy. He's always thought you were a jerk, but when the chips are down, you can always count on him. I've done stuff like, you kind of slept with his older sister, and, some accidents happened, and she was taken to a nunnery,
Wow.
And so, you start a little animosity or give them a little something so that they can, go back and forth with or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I know the one guy, him and his buddy, when they come and play, they'll always do something like, well, I'm a cleric. And there was a high cleric in the church in my town where I grew up. Well, it was his dad.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to be a cleric. He became a thief. You know.
Right.
Oh, how did he become a thief? Oh, he hung out with this guy over here who he grew up with, and they decided to start hanging on the streets together. That's the third player in the party. They'll
There you
tie
go.
themselves together just by using that kind of same town or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The other good way to do it, if you don't know, if you are stuck as a DM, Callaghan, is make them all the same race. Make them all from the same town, and then you ask them, all right, you're all playing elves today. I don't care what race or class, you're all playing elves. All right, you decide. You all want to play Wood Elves? Great, you're all playing Wood Elves. Okay, you're from a Wood Elf village. Okay, now tell me how you know each other. Let them tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I beat up his younger brother, and we became friends after I beat, stuff like that.
I outsmithed him in wood carving, wonderful goblets. I don't know.
Yep.
I drank him under the table. Yeah.
Well, the way I've always done it is I let the players decide as long as they don't get too crazy with it.
We were both in the University of Animal Husbandry.
Yeah. I mean, take Hammers of the Duchy, for example. I mean, you, Full-On, and you, Glenn, you guys tied your characters together from the moment. You guys have been co-workers for, I think it was like a year or something, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, for a merchant house I was like the mule skinner, and he was the head driver for the caravan.
Yeah, and so
and we were between jobs.
Exactly. That's exactly how you did. So you guys struck out on your own and said, let's just see what else the duchy can offer us. And soon enough, you guys arrived in Guido's fort and met Allie's character and met a couple of NPCs, and then once you guys got into the dungeon, you met Corey. Who was captured. I hit upon all those tropes. But
one right after the other. Yeah.
But I will give you a bit of word to the wise, Cal. Don't overthink trying to get your players together, because more often than not they'll either think of it themselves, or they just want to get down into the dungeon and kill things. So it doesn't matter as much as you might think.
Whenever I overthink that, I always think about how my grandson and his friend got together in their first game of D&D.
Which was?
They were in a bar. The elf walked up to my grandson's character, said, "Hi, want to go off adventuring in a dungeon with me?" Okay, and they went off.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's also put a little backstory in that. At the time they were playing, your grandson was like what, 9?
He was about 8, and the other one was like 7.
Exactly.
But leave it to kids to get right to the point.
Yeah, they just cut right to the chase. It's true. Full-On, how about you?
I've used quite a number of different hooks and tropes and stuff to tie people in together. You can go with the bar fight. If you don't like the bar fight, you can go with, we're all from the same town. You can use the 0 level. We're not even adventurers yet. We're just from the same town.
That is so...
I play a lot of Forgotten Realms, so I don't even have to go same race from the same town. Whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
Or Eberron, same thing.
Find the basic, I think it's basic, or I don't know if it's one of your basic modules, Treasure Hunt.
That's one.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the N1, I think.
That one will take care of you right there. You're all 0 level. You're in a dungeon. You have to fight your way out. And...
My only problem...
There's any number of things.
Go ahead.
You can use the 0 level character adventure. You could even use the classed adventurer thing of, we are the people who are the survivors of the town that got slaughtered. We were away at university. We are coming back to see the ruins of the town. You can use, we were all members of the same military force. Does your world setting already have wars ongoing? Maybe you are the Kyurgeon for the fighting squad with, here's the cleric, and here's the scout/thief, and here's the warrior frontman, and you were a special recon unit or something.
You all lynched the same guy in the same town. Yeah.
Yeah, I played in a game that we were like that. I was the recon guy, so yeah, I get you.
You can preload a package story that they're all wrapped around that plays on each of their characters. You can let them adventure themselves into existence. Sometimes I've had poor results with I'm not going to put any input into it whatsoever and just let people introduce themselves in town. And then 9 hours of gameplay later, people haven't even found each other yet.
Exactly. See, that's...
Or are intentionally avoiding trying to link the party as a functioning unit.
If you can do it, make that part of the hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Mutant Future game started with a module from Tim Snyder called Gimme Shelter and said, okay, the characters are all part of the quote-unquote acquisitions department with this mutant bear called Barter John who runs a trading post. And they're the ones who go out and get the artifacts and stuff. And I'm running with that. Boom. Instant. They know each other. I can set up whatever I need. Go get this, go get that. They get in trouble along the way. Instant setup right there.
Right. Right.
And that's the kind of thing where the hook is part of the hook.
I've used the "this scroll will self-immolate in 5 seconds" Mission Impossible entry to welcome Mr. Phelps. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, for a band of troubleshooter type.
You will be working with,
Yes, you'll be working with these people from the Harpers. I don't know, and you can hook anything together that way. You can use any number of things. We've done you're all part of the same crew, you're part of the same ship, you're part of the same thieves guild. Whether you're all thieves or not, they need strongmen and they need wizards too.
Yep. Go to any convention, and that's usually you find a lot of that stuff. Like you're all in the same squad all the police squad, or in the army, or like you said, on a ship.
You're a fraternity of people at university in the towers of Sharn,
And somebody got killed at your kegger. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there are tons of different ways to do it, but most of the time, I mean,
you could also go the Call of Cthulhu route. Like, your great uncle is missing. You kind of knew about him when you were growing up, but now he sent you a letter. Could you please come help me? Well, I have friends. It's almost like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Get some pre-buy-in if you're going to go with and you're all prisoners in the same drunk tank.
Yep, pretty much. I mean, that's another way to do it. That's how the one Dark Sun campaign I played in started. Everybody is everyone's in a thing and they try to escape. So yeah, I mean, there are different ways to do it.
Really gives you a good reason for adventurers to hate slavers.
Well, yeah. This is true. So. All right.
Or hate the GM, one or the other.
Yeah, it could be one and the same, but yeah. Or shall we move on?
Yeah.
Allow us to move on.
All right. Okay, last email of the night. This one is from our friend from Hogwarts, Lon Varnador.
Hi, Lon.
Okay, he says, just listening to episode 90 about Return to the Keep on the Borderlands. Technically Full On was wrong. There have been 4 versions. The 5e playtest had this as well. I know it isn't 2e, but still. Yeah, well, let's just put it this way. It's the most ubiquitous module in D&D going back to 1980, and yeah, there have been reworks and complete overhauls and things like that.
The only thing they haven't caught up with is, Ravenloft will catch up with it as soon as 5e gets its Ravenloft on.
Yeah, exactly, which won't take long, I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
And not to be a complete jerk, I love you guys. And a question. Listening to your review of the Red Dragon, do you give them minions for PCs to deal with, or is it a one-on-one group fight? Funny you should ask that, because I posted that on Dragon's Foot a couple of days ago.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, let's put it this way. A dragon in its lair, even a red dragon, they're intelligent enough to have minion/cannon fodder because they know other dragons, adventurers, and the like are going to be trying to get its horde, or maybe even just one item in the horde. And so, yeah, it's going to be trapped. It's going to have a false horde. It's going to have an illusory horde if they so decide to go that way. Like I said,
I just got a brilliant, well, for me, brilliant idea for an adventure.
Which is?
Adventurers trapped between 2 warring factions, a very, very intelligent red dragon with all that stuff, and a lich with all that stuff in his little hidey hole.
Yeah.
And they are rivals. They are fighting.
Okay. That works.
And like the doctor just said in his new premiere for his new season, hey, whether they know it or not, the cheapest way to keep things alive is in the larder is to keep it alive. You ain't got to refrigerate it that way. And you don't have to worry about rot.
Yeah.
And every good minion for a dragon, whether they know it or not, are also on the menu.
Yeah, they're on the menu, and they are also expendable in defending the horde, which is what the dragon really wants to do. But yeah, I mean,
Gotcha.
yeah, minions, cannon fodder, some, both. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, in most evil, it all depends because green dragons tend to be more cunning than reds. Reds tend to be brutes. Blues can go either way. Whites are not that smart, but they are fairly cunning. It could go either way. I mean, there are some that might just be egotistical enough to think they can take out an adventuring party. If the adventuring party gets the drop on that dragon, I'd say odds are in the adventurers' favor. But
well, if an adventuring party with a SAM,
a surface to air missile, yeah, exactly. But
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, my whole thing is the smarter the dragon, the harder the lair should be for the adventurers to overcome. That's just my rule.
That's true. And you can't. And remember, if you are playing like basic, dragons are still nothing to sneeze at.
No, they aren't pushovers. They're hard. I had this entire discussion.
They're a little easier. They're a little easier to take care of in basic, but not by much.
Yeah, and 1E dragons are difficult, but it's more because of the damage they inflict with their breath weapons than it is.
Yeah, then there's 2E.
Yeah, then there's 2E, which,
And then there's 2E Forgotten Realms dragons.
Yeah. If you listen to a certain co-host of this show, yes. Yeah.
What?
Exactly. But, yeah, so, like I said, dragon hunting is very lucrative, but the survival rate is not good. Just remember that.
Yeah, that's right.
The dwarves and the Hobbit had it right. Dragon horde thieving is a lot better than dragon hunting.
True.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the email.
Yep. Thank you, Lon.
And you can send us you folks out there can send us emails at thacoshammer@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think we have a number somewhere in my
Area
pocket.
code 405-806-0555.
Thank you, Corey, the Invisible Man.
And you can post to our forums on OSR Gaming. You can post to our forums on D20 Radio. You can post to our forums on Dragon's Foot. You can post to our forums on all kinds of other places.
Facebook, Twitter, we're all over the place.
Tumblr, yeah.
And let's not forget Purple Worm. Those guys do a hell of a job, and they've always supported us.
Yes, they have.
All right, let's go on to magic. No, we're going to do people skills.
Wish we have time to bury them fellas.
Hell with them fellas. Buzzards gotta eat, same as worms.
Or shall I find a new adversary so close to my own level?
Try the local sewer.
People skills.
People skills. Okay, humanoids, particularly half ogres.
Yes.
And half orcs, or just half ogres?
Half ogres.
Half ogres.
Yeah, we've done half orcs already.
Okay,
we're not talking about what the other half of the half ogre is. If it happens to be a kinder, I don't want to know about the story.
Yeah. Anyway.
Ooh, I like that. I made your mind vomit a little bit.
Yeah, I threw up in my mouth a little bit. Thank you.
Okay, half ogres were not really. They're not in the main book.
No.
They're like half orcs. They were left out.
Yeah.
But they came back with a vengeance in a few other supplements, didn't they?
Yeah.
They originally traced their history.
The Book of Humanoids.
Yep, complete book of
Had them in there. I remember that.
That's where they made their triumphant return. It's true.
Yep.
Well, they weren't really that prominent in 1E either.
Yeah, but, I mean, they first got their start in 1E back in a Dragon magazine thing. Then I think they became more popular in, believe it or not, Dragonlance because they had a story about a half-ogre leader of a war band and that just, that kind of turned people onto half-ogres. I remember.
Okay. Making its debut back in Dragon number 73, back in 1983. It returned triumphantly in the Best of Dragon Volume 4.
Yeah.
The best darn door opener there is, the whole half-ogre.
Yep.
remodeled once again for the complete book of humanoids, and reappearing in detail in your skills and powers.
Yes, indeed.
And I played a half ogre when a half ogre weren't cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the best time to do it.
Yeah. Old Joe Blow, poor guy, had a +2 teddy bear.
I don't want that story.
Sometimes you can have your entire backstory simply in a character's name.
Oh.
Grondar, Dwarffighter of the Orc Thrower clan.
Yeah, that's a good name.
But you're a half ogre. Don't tell him that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Going through the complete book of humanoids entry, which is what I have. Half ogres on generation, they get a +1 bonus to strength and con, -1 to intelligent and charisma. Now, actually, I think this PDF I have is a little bit unclear, so I'm going to grab my complete humanoids book off my shelf, which is what I should have done.
What would you like to know?
I was going to go down the ability scores because the list on the PDF looks a little wonky. So
they have them split into 2 columns, and they have them split because they're trying to give you... They're cutting pages and being cheap. They're entering the ogre and the half-ogre at the same time.
Right.
So the left side column entries are for ogres, and the right side column entries are for half-ogres.
Right. Okay, got it.
So half-ogres are looking at minimums of 14 for strength and con, minimums of 3 for dex and intelligence, and minimums of 2 for wisdom and charisma. Yes, you can have stats lower than 3.
Yes.
That's right.
For sure.
And let me tell you, and at a party, if the half-orc ain't if the half-orc ain't thug enough for you, go with the half-ogre.
Yeah, for sure. I believe.
Hey, you can have a really, really charismatic half-ogre rocking his maximum 8, who's tolerable to be around. He's a little bit of a conversationalist.
Yes.
You know, they have a max 18 strength, max 19 con, and maxes of 12 across the rest of the board for dex, intelligence, and wisdom.
18 percentile strength?
Yes, all the way to 18 double aught. Yes.
Yike! I think I rocked mine
fighter
at 18.
base.
That's right, and my one half ogre rocked it at 1892.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Not bad at all. What about you, Corey? You ever use half ogres?
Corey.
And
sorry, I hit mute. I'm sitting here listening. You say something, I hit mute and start talking. I'm like, hello. All right, yeah, I use half ogres in my campaign world as a playable race. They're actually used quite extensively, not just for the stereotypical bouncer sitting on a stool inside the tavern, picking his nose, waiting for trouble to start. Actually, I have quite a few half ogres running around of notoriety. One of my players actually has a half ogre running around, and I actually started what is essentially a hired muscle sort of guild, essentially a bodyguard guild that literally protects diplomats and dignitaries, and it is run by a half ogre, and he has half ogres for rent essentially in my main city. That literally, you come to the city, you're a merchant, you have a whole lot of money, you have stuff you exchange, you first go to him, and his half ogres will surround and tower over your little human. It's pretty cool. Yep.
Oh, nice. Nice. So you actually got a player character half ogre. That's nice. I like to see that in the game.
Oh yeah.
Hard time fitting into those little tiny dungeons, but
no, we don't. We break things down to make room. I've pulled it off 2 flavors. I've done the half-ogre Myrmidon Warrior.
Wow.
And I've done the member of Water the Brute Squad. And I've also done the Wizard half-ogre. Marley Dogbiter. He was the minion. He was the I don't want to say ogre. I want to say mad scientist wizard person's henchman.
Oh, he was
Igor.
Yeah,
he was the Igor.
Evil overlord wizard person who the orc tribe got mad and killed, but framed me for it. So taking advantage of the half ogre as it appears in the skills and powers I went with a couple of traits and qualities that allowed me to play the wizard-based half ogre, because there it's not even in the humanoids section separate; it's in the actual playable races.
Yep.
Wow.
And I pulled off the wizard bonus, having eidetic memory as my trait.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, nice.
And went off as a bitter, angry half-ogre, wanting revenge on those who framed me for the murder of our Lord and Master, who I really didn't like anyway, because he treated me like a damn Igor.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't want me to teach magic, but I learned it by rote and force of will.
I watched him real close.
Exactly.
And of course, it's also interesting when your wizard staff happens to be a bronze pipe 4 inches across.
Boing! Yeah, pong. Yep.
All of a sudden you're El Kabong, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Half ogres get their hit dice by class. They also get 4 bonus hit points at first level. That's actually interesting. So if you have a 19 con, that puts you at 19 hit points to start. If you're a fighter, which is pretty strong. But
hello, I am tank.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I was doing Thorky's game for a while, and I wrote up he was doing a 1E game. I wrote up a half-orc cleric.
Mm-hmm.
If I was doing a 2E game or something like that, I think I'd make him a half-ogre cleric.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you
could have so much fun. I had so much fun interrogating people, because I would play the shaman roll up, and I would talk to them about how I'm going to read their mind with all the rituals as I carve little runes all over their flesh, and I cast an ESP spell. Please don't think about the pink elephant.
Exactly.
Well, I like to play him like Hank McCoy is played by Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah.
Great big guy who's like very educated and wears glasses, but if he has to get his ogre on, he's right there with it.
Exactly. Exactly. Let's see. Half ogres have a natural armor class of 8.
Uh-huh.
They can reach maximum of 12th level as a fighter, but only 4th level as a cleric, shaman, or witch doctor, which is not very high, but it's enough to make it interesting. So, you could be.
This is why we get rid of level limits, people.
Yeah. Well,
break that glass ceiling, girl.
Yeah.
Class restrictions? For damn with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, come on. There's ogre mages. Why can't there be half ogres who are mages? They're half human. That's like the root, right?
Yeah, but with a 12 intelligence maximum, you're not going to be learning spells very easily.
I ain't going to be learning a lot of spells, but I can learn what I got really good.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
If you're that kind of if you got like a low wisdom, you got to really be favored by your god to be a cleric.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You got to be like the teacher's pet of.
Now, in the differences between the handbook half ogre and the skills and powers half ogre, the stats are the same, the classes are the same. The difference is some of the attributes. You don't get any armor class thing. Well, you get the tough hide, natural armor class of 8, but you also get infravision 60 foot.
Yep.
And your racial base for languages you can dip in if you have your intelligence bonus for languages, or common, ogre, orc, troll, stone giant, and gnoll. And of course, you got your points that you can spend on your various racial abilities if you want to change those and play the skills and powers, build your own race plan for how half ogre is your half ogre.
Right.
Now,
maybe your half ogre is half ogre, half orc, and you get the muscle bonus. Maybe you're half ogre, half dwarf with poison resistance.
Etc. Etc.
That's a party. That's one hell of a party.
Is there alignment restrictions on half ogres?
It says here that
half ogres can be any alignment.
Nice.
As their nature as just monsters or NPCs, ogres tend toward chaotic evil, half ogres tend toward chaotic neutral, but PC half ogres can be any alignment. Now the advantages the disadvantage, the major one is
big.
Yeah.
You large.
Exactly.
Large damage. Take large damage.
You take large damage, and also if you're fighting dwarves, gnomes, or halflings, that cool little bonus that dwarves, gnomes, and halflings get that applies to half ogres. Yes.
But you do get to do things like wield bastard swords one-handed and get the two-handed bastard sword damage.
That is right. That's awesome.
That was one of my favorite parts of the one you won.
Yep. Yeah, you could actually use two-handed weapons one-handed. So yeah, you could actually use a two-handed sword and get that damage. So yeah, like Falon said, tank.
Dual-wielding bastard swords and throwing daggers with a girdle of storm giant strength. Wah! 6 to 9 round burst.
Shut up.
I'm a 50 cal.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Now another one of their traits, which is something that the DM, if you're going to allow monster races in your D&D campaign, you need to play them up. Of course, the size, their appearance, which means that, more often than not, they're not quite civilized. They might be noble savages at best, but at worst,
they lean towards barbarianish behavior.
Barbaric behavior.
Generally,
exactly.
because that's the way society treats us.
Of course, a half-ogre barbarian would not be out of the question either.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, give them the barbarian kit. Yeah, how about that?
But I thought. Then he said Myrmidon. I'm going, my God.
Oh yeah. That's a warrior's warrior there. He's a frontliner. That's like a drill sergeant from hell you don't want to meet in a dark alley.
Who's that guy in the Green Lantern Corps, Milwaukee?
Yeah.
He reminds me of
Kilowog.
Kilowog. He reminds me of a half-ogre Myrmidon.
Now, one of the other traits that you can play up is one of the unique things for appearance for a half-ogre is apparently they've got this weird thing where it's black eyes with white pupils.
Ooh.
Oh, that is weird.
They could look generally like an ugly human.
Yeah.
In general demeanor and appearance, but that will be their clue of their humanoid roots that they can't necessarily hide.
Got this really good-looking half-ogre, and he's trying to get together with this girl. She looks in his eyes and sees the white pupils and the black eyes and immediately screams, "Vampire!" and runs.
An 8-foot vampire, okay.
Hey, why not?
Yeah, why
not? They
not?
bite everybody. We have great constitutions. We can last through life.
Or something like that.
Yeah, something. Oh God, let's not go down the True Blood avenue.
And of course, there's always the question about not only do you have to ask the unspoken question of what half is the other half of your half-ogre and how did that happen, but where did that half-ogre get raised? Was he raised with a ogre or orc or whatever other humanoid tribe?
Mm-hmm.
Or was he raised among humans? Was he raised among the gutters of the world? Was he raised among enlightened ones?
Now, here's something interesting.
What's that?
Here's something interesting. You've got a world or maybe you're using the realms and you're in Al-Qadim or the Anarok Desert, and you've got a half-ogre raised by nomads of the Anarok.
Okay.
Whose name is Sloth?
But that would be interesting. He'd have all these moves with the scimitar and all this other stuff, and something exotic.
Flank.
Yeah. Until somebody shoots him in the head, yeah. But yeah, for sure. I could see that. Call him Hassan.
Yeah, Hassan Chop. Yeah, he wrapped. He wears the turban and everything, and
he's
something
adopted. Yeah, go ahead.
You want something deaded? He could do it.
Yeah, exactly. Sure.
He does the old two lightsabers beheading the guy thing with the scimitars.
Yeah.
Have fun storming the castle.
Thank you.
You're on the Brit Squad.
Yes.
You're on the Brit Squad.
Oh, you swine, you. I'm deaded. Sorry.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the goon in me. Anyway, any final words on this before we move on?
I like the balance that, because of their size, they don't get bonuses to their dex or anything. It's just they're really strong and really tough. And they got some smarts. They don't have a lot, but they have some. So yeah, I've used it and I've enjoyed it. It works well for me.
And they can definitely play some key NPC roles, either as a heavy major BBEG's NPC of note, or
funny you should mention that.
Or they could even be someone in charge of lesser beastie creatures, taking advantage of that great human intelligence they have at their beck and call. plus the ability to brute their way through everything else.
Yeah. Then there's that.
He's the good. You take the guy in a room. He's the good cop and the bad cop.
Yep, exactly. Depending on what
he's
mood
the guy
in
wearing the hockey mask in Mad Max.
Yep.
Anyway, folks, tell us your half-orc stories or anything else you'd like to ask us at thacoshammer@gmail.com. And now let's move into Magic Fingers.
The White Wizard approaches.
There's no such thing as magic.
You always were a better magician. You guys know that. But whatever your secret was, you have to agree. Mine is better.
Magic Fingers.
Magic Fingers. We're going to talk about strength-enhancing spells like Strength, Bull Strength, my favorite, Tensor's Transformation, and things like that, just to give you a little, edge on the muscle power in the encounters.
And that's a little bit of an error on my part. It's improved strength, not bull strength. I was thinking 3E when I wrote that. That's my fault. I don't know why. Please forgive me. I don't know why I was thinking 3E, but I was.
Yeah, like I said,
everybody wants to actually play it, even though they don't say they do.
Yeah, I was, like I said, my favorite's always been Tensor's Transformation. Just watching a wimpy little mage turn into Conan before your eyes is really exciting.
Well, that's why I say the people who wrote He-Man, they based it off that spell. Because you had,
Tensor's Transformation?
Yeah, because you had quote unquote wimpy Prince Adam that raises his sword and says, by the power of Grayskull, and he becomes He-Man, even though he doesn't change that much.
I'm glad they changed that in the new series because, I know Filmation's cheap. Well, we'll just use the same model.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, he's doing the Clark Kent thing. Is he wearing glasses?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, nobody knows Prince Adam's He-Man.
Lion-O does it better with the friggin' Sword of Omens, and he doesn't even really get all that much out of it.
Point.
And then there's Captain Marvel, Shazam. He does it really good too.
Oh yeah, Billy Batson walking with a cane.
Are we talking about the cartoon, or are we talking about the live action?
But yes.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
No, walking with a limp is Donald Blake, who turns into Thor.
Yeah, then there's that.
Or was, anyway. Anyway, I'll get off track here. But, strength-enhancing spells. We got a whole bunch of them in the Encyclopedia of Magic, don't we?
Well, we've got 3 that we found. I mean, you found another one. I found Strength, which is a 2nd level wizard spell. Improved Strength, which is 4th level. Then you brought up Tensor, and I'm just like, why didn't I think of that? And
I think it's like 5th or 7th.
Tensor's Transformation, I think it's
7th. Yeah, it's
7th.
up there a bit.
Yeah, it's 7th. But yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Basically, folks, what happens is he casts it on himself, or I think is it just self? Yeah, it's just self.
Yeah, it's self.
Yes,
definitely.
Yeah,
if the caster.
Yep.
Yeah, if you've ever, it's a medieval version of Bruce Banner and the Hulk.
Pretty much.
Is what it is.
Pretty much.
Only he's not green. That's about it.
Tensor was all about covering his bases and stabbing people in the face.
Yes.
And covering his butt.
I take that back. Tensor's Transformation is 6. Yes, I just looked it up. Yeah.
6th level. Does it have any material components?
Yes, it does. If I
need a potion of heroism or superheroism that you have to consume while uttering the spell.
Yeah. Then you turn into on.
Which you don't find at a wizard store. You find at the local GNC. They're called stacks.
You're shopping at Horrell's catalog. We got them in 6-packs now with silver bullets. You go.
Actually, the more modern version is that and a Red Bull, followed by a Red Bull.
Yeah, exactly. No kidding. My God. But yeah, I mean, it transforms the wizard into a fighter of same level. So you're talking minimum 12th level fighter transforming from a 12th level wizard. So you can use a dagger or a staff. Now, see,
and don't they go berserk too?
Yeah, they attack twice per round. And each successful attack inflicts an additional 2 points of damage, so it's a +2 bonus. The staff can only be used once per round, but with a bonus of +2 to damage rolls. And when you are transformed, a wizard will fight in melee in preference to all forms of other attack. and will continue attacking until all opponents are slain, he is killed, or the magic is dispelled, or the spell expires. So yeah,
It's called a cooldown, folks.
It isn't as bad as Berserker Gang attacking everyone. He's actually still well thought about what he's going to fight. And
Yeah.
he's going to.
Yeah. It's not like the Hulk where it's not like the Hulk where you have She-Hulk going around. Come on, give me a hug. Get it out of it. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Corey, don't tell me you've never had something like this happen in your game.
No.
Really?
You never used Tensor Transformation? Wow. Okay.
Nope. Never used Tensor Transformation.
Cool.
Never gave it out or anything.
I don't think its campaign
Yeah,
gotten that high.
Or any kind of
Ring of Spell Storing used by a thief.
No, I've given it
Sneaky
out
way to use the spell.
in like spell books that were stolen. You know, kill a lich, find a spell book. You know, it's in there, and they never used it.
Right.
Oh. Or any strength enhancing spell?
Okay, using well, that goes back to strength, which is a 2nd level spell.
Right.
Range is touch.
Now that one I've used.
Yeah. Casting time is 1 turn. That's a problem. Duration is 1 hour per level. Area of effect is the person touched. Now, this and its companion improved strength. You can actually use them on different classes, but of course the fighter gets the best benefit. When you cast it on and you touch a creature, you touch whatever target creature you have, its strength will go up by anywhere from 1 to 4, going up to 1 to 8 points depending on the class.
So these two you can use on somebody else, not just yourself.
Oh yeah,
okay.
yeah. That's what I've had wizards who use this spell on the fighter who already has like an 1860 strength or something like that to get him up to 18 double aught. But
oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, wizards get 1 to 4 points of strength gain. Priests and rogues get 1 to 6, and fighters get 1 to 8. Now,
and this has been useful also when applied to other applications, like you have certain traps that say you need to have a total number of this many strength points to lift X gate. It doesn't help you to add extra strength to someone who has strength. It helps you to get someone who doesn't have sufficient strength into the running to add in all of their strength. So.
Yeah, and you don't go berserk using this.
No, you don't. Now, when you use it,
which would be funny.
It would be funny, but no. Beings without strength scores, they get a bonus of +1 to attack and damage. That's a little weak. Personally, if I was going to edit this spell in any way, I'd make it +1 to attack and damage rolls, like per every 4 levels of the wizard, so that it's just something that increases as the wizard gains in levels. You know.
It should.
Yeah.
It should.
The material component for the spell is a few hairs or a pinch of dung from a particularly strong animal, an ape, a bear, an ox, things like that.
Could you use a half orc? Half ogre?
Half ogre, yeah, I'd allow a half ogre, but then again, it's just an animal.
See, that's why the wizard keeps him around. He's a spell component repository.
Gives new meaning to the phrase "shooting the BS."
Yeah, no kidding. Then, of course, the companion spell improves strength, which is 4th level. Range is touch. Casting time is 4, which is much better.
Material components?
Let me see. I think it might be the same.
Probably the same.
Is it?
I don't know.
Oh, no, actually it isn't. The material component. So,
oh, good. I thought.
Oh, excuse me. Wait a minute.
I thought it was going to be something a little more personal from a strong animal.
That's correct. Well, the good thing about improved strength is that the strength spell only takes you as high. In the case of a fighter, it only takes you up to 18 double aught and stops. It doesn't go any further. With this spell, it can go all the way up to 25.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm wrestling giants at that point.
You
also get access to giant rock hurling ability.
You're also going to need to wrestle one just to get the spell component.
That's true.
That's true.
You're gonna grab a hair of a giant, and well, you know.
Hey, what do you think dwarves and gnomes and kobolds get that giant fighting bonus for? Ankle hairs will reach up high and go.
Yeah.
Even better, a thief with a high enough charisma that the wizard's like, dude, give me some of his hairs. So thief walks up. I bet I can beat you in an arm wrestle match if you give me 3 of your hairs first. Here, quick, cast that spell.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Oh,
right, now.
what's wrong, Reg? He got me into short and curlies.
Okay.
No, he's running off with my short and curlies.
Oh God. All right, guys. Okay. Now the thing about improved strength is that now the warrior class, of course, gets the biggest bonus, which is 1d8 plus 4 points of strength gain. But instead of going from 18 to 19, you have to go up the brackets. Meaning, you have to go from 18, 1801, 1851, 1876, 1891 to 18 double aught. Then it goes to 19. So that way you could get a 12-point strength bonus, but you have to go into those categories of strength. Even non-fighter classes can get exceptional strength with this spell.
Well, it's nothing to sneeze at. Still, it's nothing to sneeze
at.
It's
above
nice.
That into 21, 23, 25,
mm-hmm.
and rock some extra rockin' numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're fighting that dragon and it's a matter of life and death, and the only able-bodied PC left who's not engaged with the dragon is the thief because he's hanging out waiting for some opportunity. Yeah, put this on him and say, all right, go backstab him. Trust me.
Yep.
Trust
now,
me.
You'll find both of those spells, Strength and Tensor Transformation, in your player's handbook, and you can find it in the Wizard Spell Compendium. You can find Improved Strength in the Wizard Spell Compendium, and it's found in Player's Option Spells and Magic.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, he do.
So they don't have improved strength in the PHB.
No,
they do not.
No, that's a new.
Interesting. Interesting.
Nor do they have cure moderate wounds.
Yeah, exactly. Which makes players more think.
They admitted that was a typo. That's in the errata.
And a different chart for the chromatic orbs. Anyway,
they do have a disadvantage for improved strength. If you're going to get that kind of crack put in you, you're going to suffer.
Go for it, Falon. Tell them.
You do have to deal with, after the spell expires, you are struck by intense exhaustion, and you have to do nothing but rest for 1d3 full turns.
Yeah.
And munchies.
I would totally roleplay that. Just lean on the person at the D&D table next to me, and like not move, no matter what they say. Just lay there.
Get off me! No. Exactly. Yeah, but yeah, that's
why I carry a pillow around in my backpack.
Something like that.
Places that you can put this spell and bring it into play that's not common usage. You can make it a activated power of a magical item.
By the power of Grayskull?
Yes, you have a sword with Tensor Transformation on it, or a staff, or dagger, or whatever.
Or improved strength, for that matter.
Or improved strength or strength. You could have it in a Ring of Spell Storing, which could be accessed by other people than wizards, possibly. Scrolls, obviously.
That would be terrible.
Scrolls.
That would be terrible. In a sword?
I've done it. After watching He-Man. No, you gotta remember, 1983 is when He-Man came out. I was 14 years old. Or excuse me, I'll take that back. 1930. Yeah, I was 14.
I'll put it in a dagger, but you got to stab yourself to get the effect.
Oh God! And
well, no, I'm saying, think about it. You got a character with that sword, and like, all right, I got to fight this big half ogre, or I got to fight a furbog here, bandit leader, and his 15 guys. So you use the ability to get super strong, and the fight takes a long time to take on the furbog. Then the weakness kicks in.
Yep.
That would suck on a weapon.
But then you get like there's an effect that's akin to like a potion of vitality, which takes away the exhaustion, or at least reduces
now you're adding in supplements. Now we're juicing.
Yeah, why not?
You could also make it a useless spell item, such as putting it in a strength bow. Tensor Transformation on a strength bow. You can now fight as a 12th level fighter with all the strength to go boosting with it, but you want to beat people with your bow instead of shooting them.
Exactly.
You can shoot them. I'd let you shoot them.
That's mean.
If it was a strength bow, I'd let him get away with it.
I take a half a dozen arrows, knock them, and shoot.
Exactly. Oh, now we're going into men in tights territory. But yeah, so these are wonderful augmentative spells that a wizard can use, and
Corey, these are good for.
This is how.
Corey, these are how people backstab with a ballista.
Oh, I know.
Or a great sword.
Enhanced strength or transformation, go for it.
Yep, for sure. So.
I'd let a thief with Tensor's Transformation get away with a really wicked backstab. with a flambears.
Flambear. Wow. Yeah, the wavy sword.
Whack!
Yeah, sure.
No, I did it with the letter opener. Yeah. Well, Strength Enhancing Spells. Tell us how you used it, folks, at thacoshammer@gmail.com. All right,
Could you
we're
snipe
going to do
with a boulder?
What?
Boulder throwing, sniper.
That's true.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah,
Wow.
240 yards.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Well, let's go into Snipe Hunt.
Two fools who laugh at death. Do you know what horrors lie beyond that wall?
No.
Then you go first.
This world's divided into two kinds of people, the hunter and the hunted. And luckily, I'm a hunter. Nothing can ever change that.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
I'll swallow your soul!
Come get some.
Time for a Snipe Hunt.
Snipe Hunt. Okay, we haven't done the Shadow. We're going to talk about the Shadow.
He knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men.
The Shadow, no.
The weed of D&D bears bitter fruit. The weed of the DM. Weed. Anyway, Shadow is in the Monstrous Manual, and you will find it on page 312, right next to the Shadoo. Yeah, but that's another monster.
Yes.
You'll find these in like ruins, subterranean chambers, and like they're really nasty shadows.
Yes.
I mean, they're like they drain strength from you.
Yeah.
They have a chilling touch.
Yep.
These were the most awesome monster, and this is why undead in later editions became attribute damaging creatures rather than level draining, because you could deal with level drain, but strength sucking? Oh, you hated that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And let me tell you that you finally got a really good use for that continual light spell.
Yes. That's why players would cast continual light on a stone and put it in a box. And when they went down in the dungeon, they would open the box and they would have a floodlight because for shadows in particular.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever seen the movie The Princess and the Frog, when the bad guy releases like the guys from the other side to go help him find the frog, they're shadows, but no doubt about it. Absolutely, they're shadows.
Yep, I believe it.
It's probably one of the best depiction of shadows I've ever seen in movies.
I kind of like the ones from Ghost.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
Yeah, pulling somebody into hell.
Yep, pulling them down to hell. Yep. Okay, these things, number appearing 2 to 20. That's pretty significant.
Just like Princess of the Frog.
And they're self-sustaining and generating more for the Horde.
Yep, exactly. That's what they do. Their diet is living beings. Enough said. Armor class 7, movement rate
17. Armor class 7. THACO 17.
Correct. 3+3 hit dice, which is significant as well because they are not pushovers.
That's 27, right? 27.
27 what?
Hit points.
Yeah, maximum 27. You're
and
right.
You need a +1 or better to hit them.
Yep. So, their attack, they only have one attack. They do inflict 2 to 5 points of damage, and they drain your strength.
That's right.
Yep. And there's no save either.
The nice thing is you get your strength back 2 to 8 turns after being touched.
True.
So you don't get to worry about that if you live through the fight.
Yeah, because
but
there
are 2 ways to take you all the way out.
Yep.
If your hit points hit 0 or your strength hits 0, Mr. I'm going to make strength a dump stat wizard.
Yeah.
You're well on your way to becoming another nemesis for the party as you rise from the grave as the ravening undead.
Yep.
Well, doesn't that just lend more into having a wizard with Tensor's transformation?
Yeah, and the wizard goes and tries to fight them with his staff, which isn't magical, which only plays right into it. Yeah, that's
well,
bad.
one bright spot on this is they can be turned.
Yes, they can. They have their own category.
Yes.
Let's see.
They travel in packs.
Yes.
Yep.
Packs
I like
2
that.
to 20. Yep. And this is one of those that these are, like Full-On said in the beginning, this is one of those monsters that players hate to run into. Because you've got to deal with you've got to deal with having your strength drained and having to rest for at least 20 minutes before you get it back.
Oh yeah.
And
then your food for the Nashta Verada.
The what?
Doctor Who reference.
Okay.
It's a shadow creature. Sorry.
Thank you. So yeah, they roam ancient ruins, graveyards, and dungeons. They specialize in terrifying their victims. So they like to have a little fun with you before they decide to eat you.
You're talking about taking you down. They don't exactly take you down like you die dead.
No.
Most of your essence goes to the negative material plane, and you're only the shadow of your former self remaining. Kind of like when they took Spock's brain.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know.
Oh, worst Star Trek
Now,
episode ever. But anyway, go ahead.
The downside is of that they might convert you, but once they've done it, no one's been successful at bringing anyone back.
Right.
To the tune of they've tried limited wish. They've theorized that they could maybe try it with a wish followed by a heal spell, but it hasn't worked yet.
And DMs, you know, this is quest fodder right here.
Yep.
Yep, for sure.
Yep. It is.
Yeah,
I love to say a limited wish provided only partially successful as the victim returned for an hour but remained insane for the duration.
Yep. And that's the thing, and that's the other reason why players hate shadows, because they know there is a minuscule chance of coming back from this. Yeah,
Right.
a full wish followed by a heal. Now it's only a theory because no one's ever really tried it. So yeah, I mean, you could probably try to rescue and recover their friend, but yeah, it's not easy. I mean, the original body of a victim is destroyed when changed to a shadow, which is bad enough. So yeah, you need a full wish to even have a chance at it. And then you have to cast the heal spell to, of course, cure the insanity. So yeah, there's a way to get him back, maybe.
I'd love to have an NPC I'd love to have an NPC around who's like the village idiot or the village crazy man who was taken by a shadow and was brought back, but they never cured his insanity.
Exactly. Yeah.
That would be a fun NPC.
Yeah, but yeah, that's also tough. But
This is also one of those things that fall in the category of curse with a capital C, that they don't actually use the capital C, but this is curse with a capital C type fodder to have this kind of plague infesting wherever they happen to be cropping out of.
Yep.
And, this is so much fun to just have available. Plus, at least these are corporeal undead, believe it or not. They're not incorporeal undead, so they don't have that advantage.
Yeah.
They actually are somewhat there.
Somewhat.
But,
yeah. This is when you start breaking. Yeah, exactly. This is when you have to have your light spells ready. Number one, number two, have some damaging spells ready. Because if the shadows get to you, all they at you. They don't have.
And mind you, having the light spell only makes them able to be seen.
Yeah,
that's
you still gotta fight them.
Yep. So yeah, it's not easy.
Right.
Not easy.
Oh yeah.
Low level undead.
I use these as a small group, hiding in the crypts outside of a small town, and essentially your job was to go because essentially one of the local town heroes died going to try to free them from this wretched plague of people always feeling weak and never being able to get out of bed in the morning. And literally they had to go down to retrieve his armor and swords for his family. And the adventure was not to get rid of the curse, it was bring back these items, we need these items back.
Gotcha.
So yeah, these things you can really scare a party if you just have them coming out of shadows, and it's it's good horror fodder.
For sure.
It really is.
And of course, even on the prime, when you fight a shadow and beat it, you're actually not killing it. All you're doing is banishing it the rest of the negative material plane.
It's like
it's still there for fighting.
It's like dealing with a demon. Yeah. I'm sure these are real fun in Planescape.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because that's an adventure right there.
I bet they're all around Sigil.
I've created greater shadows for myself from my campaign world that literally gain the regeneration attribute that trolls have while in shadows.
That's cool.
They've also. another feature that new shadows have that old school shadows don't is that whole thing of when they drain that strength point, that gives them hit points.
Yep.
So the more you fight them, the better they feel, and the worse you suck.
They're an energy vampire, basically.
That is correct.
Yep.
Yes. Shadows, tell us about it, folks. THACOShammer@gmail.com. And now we're on to the brainstorm.
You didn't say how to fight them. Immune to sleep, charm, and hold spells, unaffected by cold-based attacks.
Sorry, folks. But now you know how to fight them, I think.
Maybe.
Just don't whip a sleep spell or sleeper hold on them, or
sleeper hold. What?
Yeah,
you don't put a sleeper hold on a shadow. That's a bad idea. Bad idea.
Yeah. Hey, monk fighter, you're not punching the shadow.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Hey, well, let's go ahead and brainstorm.
Now you tell me what you know.
Only the infinity of the depths of a man's mind can really tell the story.
What are you, a wizard, a genius?
DM Brainstorm. DM Brainstorm, the original DM Brainstorm. Okay, guys, you ready to do a what again?
A warband with a half-ogre leader.
Bandit group.
A bandit group. Leader. Whatever you want to call it.
Okay, any particular terrain? Let's start there.
Let's see.
We can have a woodland bandit warband group. They can be on the Badlands. They can be on the desert.
Yeah, let's do Badlands. Definitely
Badlands. So you got like pretty much like
gullies, washouts, broken rocks.
Yeah, plenty of places to hide.
Desert.
Okay, the area they control is basically a
hole-in-the-wall trolls.
What?
Or something like that.
Wow.
What do they control?
The area they control is more or less a midway point between two centers of trade. They, be they towns, large villages, towns, or even maybe small cities. Go ahead.
They are controlling the Badlands between Cliffside, a familiar ravine city built on a cliff, and another coastal town that supposedly, rumor has it, is run by a dragon.
That's right.
Okay, so the campaign world gets a little bit bigger. Okay.
We got to write these up one of these days.
I'm telling you.
Anyway.
Before somebody else writes them up. My God.
That's what
First question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bandit leader of what? Are they humans? Or are they everything else?
Everything.
A mix.
We're talking humans, maybe a couple of evil dwarves, an evil halfling maybe.
Half-orcs.
Half-orcs for sure. Yuan Ti. Let's throw a couple of those in there. Yuan Ti.
A couple of really bitter half-elves who had like some abusive human relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how about this?
Or some abusive elven relationships.
Mm-hmm.
How about this? Instead of the caravan, throw down the money box. If you know what's good for you type thing. How about more like stand and deliver?
No, it's more like this half ogre actually is a little bit smarter than the average bear.
I got a punchline for you.
Go. What?
What's that?
This whole band?
Yeah.
They want half.
Is this turning into an Eddie Murphy skit?
No,
I get what you're saying.
Yes, they're going to take everything. They're not going to take everything because you can't keep robbing if they don't live. So they have a reputation for leaving survivors. But whatever comes through, their goal is they're going to take half.
Okay.
They will not let anybody
half
join.
The horses, half the treasure.
They're not letting anybody join their party who is in half.
Okay.
Half orcs, half elves.
Yep.
Good.
Yuan Ti.
Yuan-ti.
Men. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like this.
They got to be half something.
Yeah. They're outcasts. Most of them are evilly
they've got some really
aligned
mean
forces.
centaur archers.
Maybe even
Outriders.
Minute puts a couple of minotaurs in there.
No. You don't know centaurs. We're gonna stay on the evil band. We can do Gruark.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
down.
because they're half
Yes.
what? Half elf, half giant, or they're half giant. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Vodkin or Gruark, the Vodkin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And fools.
Yeah.
And
you do
fools.
Thools are more than
Half
half
trolls?
their thirds.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, they could basically just be mongrels, half breeds, whatever
Yep.
you want to do. This guy is okay, the leader. Now, taking the stats into account, I would say that he has okay, let's just go down that road. He has a magical weapon that increases his intelligence and charisma by say
Okay.
+2 to both.
And he's married to her.
No, and
No,
this
sorry.
because this the actual weapon is evilly aligned, but it is somewhat, I'd say probably like a minor artifact of like
Wow, you're going that far. Okay.
yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, no, it's good. I was keeping it lower, like
I
Rod of
like
Rulership.
keeping them on their own merits. I mean,
I was going with
if you
Rod of
got a
Rulership.
strong arm and you got intelligence.
Yeah, he's got some. That's the problem because half ogres, or at least the ones I've seen, yeah, that maximum of 12 is good, but that's on the high side of average. That's my problem. I want to give him like 15
actual lieutenants. But, okay.
Okay.
Hey, all you need for that is an ion stone or two.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Okay.
Has he got a mage backing him up somewhere?
Absolutely.
I think the gang name should be the Remnants.
I like that.
There you go.
I like that. Very good, Corey. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so, to be in the gang, you have to be half of something. Half orc.
You cannot be a pure breed race.
I like
better
that.
better what I came up with, half and half.
Probably got a few half drow in there.
You can do that, yeah. That's
You know
some
what?
of them
That's
half
their
elves can be
mage.
half drow.
That's their mage
Half
right
elves?
there.
Yeah, who casts Tensor's Transformation.
Oh. Yeah, he's a fighter mage. Yeah, high level fighter mage. Yeah, sure.
And they send out their half. They send out their half goblin.
Yeah.
No, they send out the halfling. The evil halfling
Yeah.
may cast Tensor Transformation and giving him an 18 odd strength.
That's the
'Cause
only half.
He's an illusionist.
Sure. Yeah.
No, yeah, okay. I'm down with this so far. Okay. All right, let's break it down. Okay, we've got the leader who's the half orc, let's say what, 6th, 7th level fighter at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, second in command is the half drow mage, say 6th or 7th level fighter mage.
I'd kid him, and I wouldn't kid him bandit. I'd kid him Myrmidon.
I have no problem with that.
Because it's a member of an organized
Yeah,
military band.
Yeah, he's got tactics. Yeah, make him a Myrmidon. Sure, I don't have a problem with that.
Drummed up for crimes against the crown due to his hatred of purebreds.
Done.
Or purebred's hatreds of him.
Him, and he's turned bitter and evil, and now he's got this middle part where he's using his tactical knowledge to full advantage, and this is becoming an increasing problem for trade between the ravine and the city controlled by the dragon.
You will bring us the juice. You will share. You have more than enough. Sorry, wrong movie.
Yeah, but I like the fact that you decided to go Wraith Squadron full on. Basically just take enough, take whatever. He's evil, but he's not so far gone that he's just like kill them all and let,
Is he lawful evil?
Yeah.
No, I'd say more along the lines of,
lawful evil works fine for me.
Myrmidon,
I would've said
lawful evil Myrmidon is a dangerous combination.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
especially
ruthless.
if he's leading a war band or bandit
Well,
band.
my thing is, I don't know how much lawful he'd have if he's breaking the laws being a bandit. I'd go more chaotic good.
That's why he's in the Badlands. He is the law.
That's true.
Chaotic neutral, you can make him El Indio from a few dollars more.
I know. I'm sure you hate me just enough. Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
No.
Okay.
All
right.
No, lawful evil's good.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, because...
Or even neutral.
Yeah, well, I was thinking lawful evil just because his tactics are so very militarily sound, and efforts to
That's because he was in the military, in the King's
Exactly.
Army or whatever, and this is what he learned.
Exactly. And but he's not only militarily sound. His tactics are very good as far as planning assaults, planning ambushes, but he's ruthless when he needs to be. When they decide to try to drum him out of there with an army, he wiped them out to a man. Maybe
Branded, born was the one who ran.
But I'm thinking more along, let's say they sent a force of 200 soldiers and knights to deal with him, and maybe 2 or 3 got back, and even they were maimed.
Exactly.
So he's got the reputation, and his reputation
He sends his regards, and he says he quits.
Yeah, and he falls over dead. But okay, so second in command is the Drow fighter mage. Okay, and now he's got his lieutenant. Let's see, a couple of yuan T in there.
Does his lieutenant have blue lips?
No. What are you thinking?
Oh, okay.
What
the
was that?
movie.
Oh, Glenn. Anyway,
You're not recasting Farscape here. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, my favorite sci-fi.
A rod to control dragons. Anyway.
God.
Does that image of Jeremy Irons come into your head?
Yeah, it did. No, Bruce Payne came into my head.
They got a half ogre shaman covering things on the priestly front.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
For support and heal kind of thing.
And
yes.
that also gives him leverage over local orcish tribes.
Okay.
Or the other actual humanoid tribes out there. They leverage those into action. That's how they eradicate these bands.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. But now I won't say he has a problem, but he's got a rival tribe of man scorpions in the Badlands area. And wait, hear me out.
He's fighting the Scorpion King.
No. Anyway, stop that. Basically what it was is that the man scorpions were the ones who kind of had control of the Badlands until he arrived, and he's basically whittled them down to about maybe one quarter of their tribe, and now the man scorpions who are chaotic evil themselves, they can't deal with this man, and now they're hiring agents to hire parties.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question.
Go ahead.
So what?
Go ahead.
If you want to segue this into a low-level campaign to a high-level campaign, if you have a small band of lawful evil being potentially leveraged against a larger band that they outplayed of chaotic evil.
Okay.
I see that. You see where I'm going with this? This is prime candidate area for other agencies to get involved and throw down a little bit of supplementary blood war action.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the man scorpions have themselves some Tenere action on the side.
Minor ones.
Trying to make themselves a little bit regaining their power base. That's where they become a threat. Meanwhile, Mr. Half Dude, he's got himself some Alufines. He's got himself some Tenerooks.
Okay.
And he's got some access to the lawful evil.
Okay. But the problem is when we start, once we start bringing in that, then the blood war starts, and then there's.
Just that's your high level segue. If you're not using this for a low level campaign base, you can segue into mid to high level by throwing the blood war flavor on it. Or just have that be like one entity. They get themselves one Merilith.
Just one?
Well, just one.
That's a type 5. Okay.
Okay, fine. They get a couple. The man scorpions get a couple of rocks.
That's much more. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, because when you start getting up into the
now maybe
Merilith,
maybe that's his one of his weaknesses. He doesn't have really good air support.
Okay.
He's got maybe the Alufine or a succubi girlfriend.
Yeah,
So-
I really shudder to bring that in because
Okay, all right. You guys brought something up earlier.
Go ahead.
You said like they only take half and things like that.
Yeah.
What are the lines that he and his group won't cross, if
Well-
any, since they're lawful evil?
Well, they won't. They have at least some at least this band has some semblance of honor. Some semblance of honor that's reinforced by the leader's strong arm itself, because any excessive brutality is met with equal brutality against the aggressor. So basically what it comes down to is they just will rob, and they will rob, but they will not kill unless they will not wipe out a caravan or something like that unless they're forced to it.
Legit caravans they won't wipe out.
Yeah.
They'll just take half.
Yeah.
War bands hunting them, fair game.
Yeah, fair game. They get
But I mean,
hunted
like
down.
they won't kill. Like, is it say they won't kill women? You know, I'm talking
Oh,
about.
they'll kill everybody. They'll kill a little bit of
No,
everybody.
they'll take women as slaves. They need more halves.
Okay.
Yeah.
They need more halves.
There's that.
Yeah.
If
yeah.
That means that they got a ogress.
Okay.
That's part of their strong arm that they pull out every once in a while, but that's also she's the cook, and she rides herd on the slaves.
Yeah.
Why can't you be an ogress magi?
Oh God, because the ogress magi would be trying to take over.
That be some good
There's
cooking.
that.
Oh, wait a minute. Stop. Okay.
Yes.
Let's make a little intrigue within the band then. Okay, the cook is an ogress magi, but basically polymorphed as a regular ogre.
Okay, an ogre female.
Yeah, ogress female, ogre magi female, who's looking to take over the band and is trying to garner assistance from the disenfranchised portion of the band or whatever. You know,
the more
ones-
evil members of the band
Yes.
that just want to be cut off the leash to run whole hog.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay.
Loose cannons.
Yes, exactly. And she's trying to get them to be her minions to take over, to try to take the band over and try to kill the morally weak half ogre leader.
And this could be a couple of interesting role-playing situations for
Now, I
fearless
wanted to
leader
say
heroes that are captured alive.
I wanted to say that the half ogre and the ogress were married, but I think it would be more interesting if they were brother and sister.
Well, he'd know he's an ogre magi.
Yeah.
I just call her auntie.
Auntie.
Okay.
She's
That's a
the
good one.
auntie. She's the auntie from the ogre tribe that he came from. Didn't know it was ogre magi.
Yeah.
Who's actually pulling the string.
Yeah, he's never
Okay.
known. Yeah, he's
You know
never
what this sounds like? Machine Gun Kelly.
known. Yeah, I'm down with it.
His wife called all the shots, but he was the one who got all the press.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That kind of thing.
Yep.
She was the brains. He was the face.
Yeah.
And that pretty sounds
He
like
might have
pretty
been the one who put the intelligent weapon in his hands. Because
Yeah.
occasionally he's going to lose that ego battle.
Yeah. At some point, hoping that there's a battle that he gets so beat down that there's an actual ego battle with him and his intelligent weapon. Doesn't even have to be a sword, but
Right.
some sort of vicious weapon of some sort. So yeah, she's trying basically to subvert, and if necessary, try to make a physical takeover of the band.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good
we
with
got
that.
any other got any other points of interest for this band that you guys can think of? Wrapping it up here.
They're going to have a population of actual captives.
Yeah, for sure.
That
All
population of actual captives are going to be males and females, and they're probably going to have a couple of youngins on the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
But
gonna
they're
have to
already-
say with them being lawful evil and them having strict rules about halves or non-pures.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some forced.
Some forced breeding, yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
They're gonna have a breeding pen.
Yes. And there's
an auntie's in charge of it.
yeah. There's going to be humans in there. There's going to be dwarves in there. There's going to be just pretty much every, and it's like 90%, 99% female.
There might even be some orcs and hobgoblins in there that were from tribes that were not obedient to the influences
like
of
That's
his crew, of the Ravagers, or
Good.
what are they? Remnants of the Remnants.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's all kind of plots we can pull. Anyway, I got to wrap this up.
Okay.
So there's a lot of fodder for you folks. You want to take this and run with it? Let us know how it worked.
Who knows? Some of the remnants might have been your fodder.
Yeah, that's right. THACOshammer@gmail.com.
Well, you
okay,
might have
guys.
for that matter.
Okay, let's close up the Splat book.
Okay.
And that was really good.
Yep.
You know, let us know how you like it, folks. You know the drill. Say goodnight, Corey.
Good night, folks. Keep your swords close and your tensor's transformation closer.
There you go. Brian?
And remember, folks, just don't carry females on your caravans when you're going from place to place, because when you're in the Badlands, they might be taken. And then things
lock up the women.
Yeah, lock up the women.
Don't be too pretty, you bards.
Say goodnight, full on.
Good night, Gamer Nation. Enjoy it while you can.
Oh yeah, I'm DM Glenn saying we'll see you next time when the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer. Good night.
+2 damage from higher strength.
Yeah. Who in the highest? I'd be scared to give him a strength spell. THACO's Hammer theme is provided by the Diablo Swing Orchestra. You'll find them on Jamendo.com. All other additional music for this episode was provided by Kevin MacLeod. You'll find more of his music on Incompetech.com. Be sure to visit our website at THACOshammer.info. If you have any questions or comments, email us at THACOshammer@gmail.com. Remember, that's an O, not a 0. You can also find us on the second edition forums at osrgaming.org and at purpleworm.org. Or give us a call and leave us a voicemail at 405-806-0555. See you next time when the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer.